We are on. Oh, need a timer, don't we? Daily vlogs. They've changed a little, haven't they? Changed a little, the last. What are we up to? 58, nearly 2 months. Missed 2 now. I could just start from 0 again, but I feel it's a bit extreme. We're just going to... I'll add them on the end, the ones that I miss. It's my intention to do 365, but I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. Not mistakes, I miss things. We try. Moving through some challenges today. My morning was a 9 out of 10. Life was good. The run this morning though, that was hard. I woke up feeling, I got 8.5 hours sleep, which is mint. Just really recharged in that way. Proud of myself for going to bed early. Yeah, just challenged by family stuff at the moment, which is okay. It is what it is. It's how I move through those, and choosing to turn up for myself and not letting things derail me like they used to. I definitely, not so long ago, like my emotional stability was really impacted by different things going on in my world, different challenges, and just sending love back to themselves. But I'm feeling needy today. I think that's when these things come in and challenge your beliefs and your mission, your purpose, your journey, and what you're doing, and then it's to not allow that to derail me or take away from my emotional stability. So it's only things people experiences if we allow them. For me, the emotional stability is something I'm really proud of, and I think that's what draws people towards me as well, and I love being that for others. And I'm still human though. I'm not like a robot. I'm not an enlightened being. I still feel, I still have emotions, I still get hurt. It's how I process those and work through them, and I'm still allowed to voice them and be frustrated, and that's okay too. Allowing myself the time and the presence to work through that, and then to move forward and keep on doing what's true to me and my heart. And whenever I make decisions around what's in my heart, it reaps the highest reward, and continually just doing that and building the trust within self and allowing, being, doing, not trying to over intellectualize, not letting this thing get in the way of what is. So I was at Newcastle Beach this morning, just chilling out, and this is what goes through my mind. I was just thinking of my drone and I'm flying every day at the moment, which is unreal. It's quite rewarding, and it's I think it fulfills that adrenaline sort of side of me that's, I hope will never go away. I enjoy that aspect of my life. I like the thrill seeker, and like I spoke to yesterday, the FPV drone is something that your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not, and just to be flying around is like crazy. But so this morning I was just like, I would say there's a name to it, but I was just thinking of flying and what can I try, like what's a trick. No doubt there is a name for it, but I was like, how can I don't know whether it looked cool or not, but it's almost like there's sort of water and like a backflip. So like that's the attitude that you'd be flying at. So the camera, I'm just looking at it now, so that's like the camera which sits in the front. The camera's sitting quite level, so it's going to be in an attitude like that, flying forward. And then my idea was to like moving forward quite quickly and then going to a flat yaw spin, so like that, flipping it 180 degrees in the air. So you're still going to be, the momentum's going to carry you backwards still, but the drone will be sitting flat to give it a nice spin look, and then to pull it back over the top, so come around into like a backflip, a backwards flip like that, and then round. I was just trying to visualize it, and what I get inspiration with videography and filming from music. Music inspires the flight. I reverse engineer it, like I can hear the music and then be like, how would the flying link into that? So that's something I want to work on too. I'm going to try and fly with earphones in, although not good for spatial awareness when you got goggles on and earphones in. Like someone could literally come up and just like push you over or something. Who knows? So yeah, that's an idea I want to try, like the flat spin to like a backward roll like that. I think it looked pretty cool. Something I was doing yesterday was practicing, I think they're called power loops. So a drone flips very differently to like a fixed wing aircraft. So fixed wing aircraft being a plane, like a commercial plane is a fixed wing. I'm going to try and explain it. So a drone, this is like a wing. This is a wing for a drone, so sort of like a helicopter, but it generates lift vertically through the propellers. So with an aircraft, the propeller drives it forward, generates lift propulsion forward, and then the wing does the actual lifting of the aircraft. With this, the lift vector is horizontal, so it's pulling air in and pushing it out the bottom, the wind is air is coming in through the front, hitting the propellers, and then that's generating lift, which the motion of it coming over the top of the propeller, and then it gets pushed down, gives you that downwards force, but it's generating lift through the differential between the high and a low pressure generated from that rotating wing. So the lift vector for this is like a horizontal to the plane of the drone. So in flight, we're sitting like that, and the lift vector's that way. So gravity's acting there, but then we're compensating. We're getting lift in a forwards motion, but also vertically. So that's why they fly like that. When you come into a roll, so with an aircraft, it's more of just to pull the stick back up and over and come round in a rolling motion. But with a drone, it's as you come up into a power loop, like you get to this point where you're generating lift this way, and then as you get to the top, the lift it's pulling it that way. There's no up and down, so gravity starts to pull the drone downwards towards the ground. So if you went up into a roll and lost momentum, and then you didn't have the power, the drone's pulling itself that way, but it's going to start dropping because the lift is now horizontal. As you get to the top of the roll, if you got power on, you're pulling yourself that way, it's going to drop. So with a roll in the drone, like I was doing yesterday, you're flying basically like this, but then the lift vector is straight up. If you spin it upside down, it's going to pull itself down towards the ground. So we want to, when we're doing rolls, we're cutting the power. Yeah, and so we're not pulling ourselves down towards the ground, doing a roll like that, back to horizontal. So when we come up in the power loop, to get it to come over and create more of like a smoother loop, it's like we're increasing the power, increasing, generate that lift upwards. plus there's the forward momentum, but as we come to the top, we've actually got to gas it to give it more power to come up and over. So it's pulling itself over the loop, and then when we get to this point, we're like easing it off, and it's there's no real reference point when you're doing this, so it's a bit of just trial and error, either in real life or on the sim. But that's a cool, fun trick that I was doing yesterday, is practicing these big loops, and the feeling you get when you're like coming over and back towards the ground, and like you can feel it inside of your body. You're like, oh, but you're not actually moving. So it's almost like you feel the G-forces, but you're not experiencing it. But that's good fun to just try different moves and techniques, and enjoying the low level flying, like in between trees and stuff like that. And my local park was like, I don't think it's a really good place to fly, but it's actually unreal. It's got some good obstacles, like trees and that you can fly around, and then it's big enough that you can do some loops and that. When you really start giving it more, they draw a lot of power. Like the weight of this thing is actually substantial. I have to wait, like a lot of it's the battery pack, but yeah, the weight is quite substantial, and it's amazing how they fly. And the thing that's, you feel how heavy it is, but when you take it off, when you're up high and you back off the power completely, the way they don't just fall out of the sky is this weird like balance between physics and the eye, and just the responsiveness of them. Once you get the more and more practice, you get more connected with the drone itself. Adjusting the rates yesterday really helped. Adjusting the max rates down, and center stick sensitivity I adjusted up. Having the max rates I found was a big one. Lowering them, and then I raised the yaw, so it brought it more into, felt a lot more, the yaw inputs, as in this way, rotating around, which you're doing when you're doing bank turns and that, using a lot of yaw all the time, but the inputs for that felt really big in comparison to pitch and roll. So pitch and roll, so the actual yaw movements. And a good point, like Josh Bardwell spoke to in his video around that, is if you have to have big inputs, which is your left stick, big yaw inputs, it affects your throttle as well. So if you're moving left stick left and right, and then that can be tweaking your throttle inputs as well. I've been flying pinch from the start. I used to fly planes as a kid and that, and never flew pinch. Since I learned drones, I've been flying pinch, which is it's grabbing the stick with two hands as opposed to one, and I never really understood why until it got explained. And if you just use your thumb, for example, on the stick on one side, you only have that muscle working. You can feel it there, but when you have two muscles, it's like a push-pull you get, and you can hold a position a lot more accurately, I found. So you might be doing like a smooth turn, and if you try and hold your thumb in one position like really steadily, like mine's shaking at the moment, it's quite hard to hold that. But in a pinch position with two, it's like pinpoint accuracy, and it's a lot smoother, because the inputs on a drone, or a lot of remote control aircraft, is very small inputs. But yeah, that's where I'm up to with the flying. I filmed yesterday with me as a person standing in a park, and I filmed with my GoPro the control inputs, and then recorded the footage from the goggles as well. So I want to make a video linking all those together. It's pretty cool to see them all in one. I'm using Premiere Pro at the moment, so syncing that all up, plus the audio is a separate file as well, which is because I forgot something, but I still got audio, so that's all that matters. And it'd be cool to link those all up in a video so you can see what goes on, me physically as a person, the standing in a park, what I can see, plus the control inputs. Make a cool little video. So I will make it happen. I'll make it happen in the near future. Just have to prioritize certain things at the moment, but happy hump day. Ooh, let's go.